Hey, and welcome to Style of Thought. So, let's talk about tenancy law. She's got her glasses on. You know, it's serious. Okay. So, first of all, for a disclaimer, to be clear, I'm not a lawyer, just a student. If you need help and if you live in Germany, feel free to look up the Tenancy Association. For a small membership fee, they can give you legal guidance, work out documents for you, and help you as far as they can. And these are some general tips founded in law that I think are really helpful, as well as highlight the rights that I think you should know about, that you have. Let's dig in. Now I will actually go back to the basics a little bit. Make sure that you read your contract. Otherwise, you leave yourself open to a lot of liabilities, meaning take your time to read it thoroughly and check for the parties involved, the deposit, I will speak about that in a second, the rent, the contract length, and especially special provisions, special clauses that are in there, because this is where people try to hide things in there. And just take your time, if it's possible, to take these contracts and bring them to a Mieterverein, so you can read it over with them and you can just make sure that you understand everything and that there's no legal trick in there. Interview questions. Now, to continuously protect you from discrimination and just giving out too much information about yourself, you don't have to answer every interview question, such as religion, political party affiliations, criminal record, ongoing investigations, desire to have children, or pregnancy are inadmissible. If interested parties apply for a specific apartment after the viewing, the data that is required for the rental relationship may be collected in accordance with Article 6 of the Datenschutzgrundverordnung. In principle, data on the economic situation may only be collected if the prospective tenant actually applies for a specific apartment after the viewing. The deposit. Normally, the deposit shouldn't be more than 1 or 3, often 2 months' rent. And tenants do not have to provide a rental security deposit unless it is expressly agreed in the rental contract. The rent deposit does not need to be paid in one go or before the tenancy begins. The deposit can be paid in 3 installments, and very important to note, tenants should get a receipt of their deposit. This will come in handy at the end of the tenancy in case of any complications. The burden of proof lies with you. Now, when it comes to getting your deposit back, there are some issues sometimes with people, and I'm so sorry that this happens to you. The landlord, sadly, is technically entitled to keep your deposit. The tenant has the right to repayment of the deposit within the reasonable period, which is not regulated by law. In normal cases, it takes a few weeks, but according to court rulings, 3 to 6 months can still be within the legal limit. Excuse me, worth noting is that not only do you have to get it back, but according to paragraph 551 BGB, even with interest. Again, everything should be written and signed about that topic too. Which means your landlord could keep your money, your deposit, however, for the following reasons only, if you have like rent, debt, damages, or anything that come close to that. Now to the beautification of your apartment. Honestly, there hasn't been a law established now at this point when it comes to the specific point of beautificating your apartment. The reason why I'm saying the following point is because I noticed that some people are nervous, they're intimidated about which clauses are written down in their contract. Your landlord is not able to dictate which color you can paint your walls. They just can't. What they can do, however, is they can determine that when you leave that apartment, when the contract finishes, due to whatever reason, you have to repaint it in the way you either found it in the first place, or dictate which colors they want you to paint it in. They're not allowed to just write down white. They have to give you options like white, beige, gray, and again, only when you move out. As long as you live within that property, you can paint it whatever color you want. Just, of course, you have to keep in mind, am I able to accommodate their wishes whenever I move out? Like, if I paint it black, how much will I have to paint it over to the expected color in the end? What some people don't know is that the rental agreement can also be made orally, meaning there can be just a vocal agreement between the landlord and you, or even the person that the landlord put in charge. So that doesn't mean that the other person cannot resign or that you cannot change your mind if you found another apartment. But these vocal agreements are especially crucial when it comes to areas of discrimination, I'd say. In Germany even, there's this discrimination law that I definitely will make a video about in the future, the AGG, the General Equal Treatment Act. That's the word. And when it comes to these things, it is kind of tricky. If you are in luck and that person was racist enough or discriminatory enough to just write it down and write you, for example, per email, why out of these discriminatory reasons you were excluded from getting the apartment after all, you definitely have a case. When it came between the landlord and the person that the landlord actually agreed to give the apartment to, but then changed his mind once he saw her. It was such lucky, so much luck, because he confused her email with another friend's email, and in that email he wrote that friend, that actually was her, all the racist reasons he didn't want that person to move into his property, because the person was Arab, because the person was Muslim, because the person, everything was in there, every discriminatory thing. You're like, okay, that is an easy case. So bing bang boom, she got the apartment. I don't know how it went with the landlord, but if all he wants is his money and all he wants is to also not be in contact with her, I think he got his will. And I assume everyone lived happily ever after. So these were my tips regarding tenancy law in Germany. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was useful for you. And if you want to hear more tenancy laws or if you want to go deep into some topics, please let me know in the comments down below. And feel free to share with anyone out there. Thank you for watching, and I see you in the next one. And I'm so soft today. I don't know. Bye.